Good fucking morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Proof of Person. Happy fucking Wednesday. Today we have Andres, founder and CEO of Edel Finance, as our main guest for episode 49. Thank you for joining the show, Andres. How are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing, man, especially after this intro. How can you feel bad after this one? I'm happy to be here.
Let's fucking go, man. So happy to have you here with us. It's going to be an exciting show. So much to learn for everyone about Edel Finance. I'm sure some have seen it on the timeline, but yeah, for the ones that haven't, or for the ones that need a refresher, extra updates, what's the alpha, what's next, this is the place to be. Yeah, for anyone, we are live on X, YouTube, Kick, and Twitch, and Abstract. From wherever you're watching us, make sure to like, comment, retweet, and share it around. Comment, let us know your questions, and yeah, get ready because it's going to be a great show. So excited, Andres. For anyone that doesn't know you, do you mind doing a quick TLDR of who you are, Web3 Catalyst, a bit of your background, so we get to know you better, and then we dive into everything
Sure.
Edel Finance.
Cool. Awesome. So, my name is Andres. I'm based in Switzerland, born and raised here. I grew up in a little village that had more cows than humans and started to become a developer. That's my original background. I started to become a developer. I got into crypto in 2016. Actually, a little bit before that, I was like mining Bitcoin in like 2013, 2014, because I was Googling how I can make some money online because I wanted to buy skins for video games. I didn't pursue it back then, unfortunately, but got back into it in 2016, 17. So I survived like, how much were it already? Like 3 bull runs and bear markets. And then in 2020, fell in love with DeFi and started to be involved with a bunch of projects. So I was helping company that was doing a yield aggregator. We built a Swiss franc stablecoin that was very interesting, and then got into lending markets. And then last year, 1.5 years ago, we started Edel because we saw a lot of movement happening in the tokenized equities space. So my thesis was that after Robinhood announced that they were going to do tokenized stocks with their chain, which they did now 1 year later, right? They launched their stuff 1 year after actually announcing it. My thesis was that this is just the first domino stone falling, and that there is going to be a lot more happening in the tokenized equity space. I was waiting for this moment for equities to finally come on chain, and that's when we started Edel.
Man, I think that's one of the most exciting, interesting stories, besides maybe not continuing the Bitcoin pursuit very early. But yeah, you have quite the story. That's awesome. And you started Edel, you said last year, or when? A couple of years
Yeah,
ago?
1.5 years ago, correct.
That's super early. I thought it was, you guys have been building. I mean, to what you built, I thought you had already like a few years runway. That's amazing. Tell us a little bit more about the team. Like, who's helping you, or who's building all of this behemoth with you on everything Edel?
Yeah, of course. So the team consists of 3 co-founders. So it's James, myself, and Roman. Roman, I've known for the past 5 years. He used to operate a app development studio with 70 people. And then James, he's from investment banking. He was very, very early involved with another RWA chain. Now we're very big on Canton. Back in the days, it was Polymesh. So they were like in 2020, they were like the place where everyone thought institutional finance was going to be hosted on. They were very early. They even got FCA license, which is the regulator in the UK, to be able to validate transactions. They wanted to originally build a venue for equities to be traded, but it was too early. So when I told James about the plan that I had in mind to build on top of tokenized equities, he was immediately on board and wanted to join the core team. And then we're around 10 people in total, scattered all over the world, mainly developers, some marketeers as well, to make sure we have beautiful content going live.
Yeah, you
And
do.
yeah, that's it. That's the Edel team.
Yeah, no, that's great. Like I always really like this story of getting the same like-minded degen visionaries with you from the beginning. I mean, that's such a big weight of if the project makes it or not, right? Having the right
Yeah.
people with you. You're
100%
only
makes things so much
you're set.
easier.
Yeah, so much easier. Are your co-founders also with you in Switzerland, or they're scattered around the world as well?
So James is in the UK and Roman is also in Switzerland. So yeah, Europe,
Easy.
Europe.
Yeah, a flight away, a couple of 1 hour, 2 hours of
Yeah,
flight, and
yeah, yeah,
you're with each other. That's
exactly.
awesome. And you saw the opportunity of tokenized equities very early together, and just said like, "There's a big opportunity here. We can start Edo Finance."
Yeah, so I told you I've been in DeFi for a very, very long time. 2019 was when I got into it. I was one of the first traders on Uniswap.
That's
I
awesome.
even used all these old school wallets that people don't even remember before MetaMask really was a thing. And before dexes really were a thing, I was like always trying out these new things because I fell in love with the idea of crypto not just being a speculative thing, but actually being able to deliver some real value in the, especially in the financial world. I'm not a big believer in uh, a lot of the catalysts that have come and gone again, like play to earn and whatever was there before NFTs. I never really believed in that. I was always under the impression that crypto is something that can specifically revolutionize the financial industry. So when I saw equities come on chain for the first time, I think this was synthetics back in 2021 or 2022. Started to play around with that, but they were not really physically backed. It was only derivatives, and they eventually failed. Even on Terra Luna back then, there was a
Oof,
protocol
man.
called yeah.
Don't
There
take
was,
us back.
sorry to open that wound again, but there
Yeah,
was a protocol.
so much salt.
There was a protocol on
Jesus.
Terra Luna, which was the mirror protocol, and they also brought tokenized equities on chain super early, right? And but they all failed because they were not able to deliver a few important things that you need to be able to have a token that always keeps the peg of the underlying asset. The only thing that was able to do that was stable coins like Tether and Circle issued. Um, so when I saw the presentation of Vlad, when EFCC was going on in Cannes in June last year, and he was talking about, hey, Robinhood is going to bring equities on chain. It made a lot of sense. Robinhood has around 250 or maybe now $300 billion of AUM in equities, right? And them bringing them on chain fully physically back, that's what I was waiting for. And then literally a day later, Xstocks announced that they're going to launch equities. They then partnered with Bybit, BitGet, and all these players. So they were the first ones to really bring equities on chain. A couple weeks later, Ondo launched, and then Coinbase announced that they were going to tokenize stocks. And now you can buy stocks on Binance, BitGet, Bybit, everywhere you can buy equities, right? Um, and at Edel, our philosophy or our vision is to make these assets usable the same way we've been able to use able to use stablecoins, Bitcoin, Ethereum in DeFi, right? So we've been looking into, okay, how can we bring these DeFi use cases to equities? We initially started off with lending. We expanded it to building vaults, and now what we're working on is a perpetual futures exchange specifically for stocks that is deployed on the Canton network. And Canton is a very unique network. It's a chain for institutions. If you look at their website, they have partnerships with literally everyone you can think of, from BlackRock to HSBC, JP Morgan, even players that are really running finance that most people don't know of, like the DTCC, who are the ones that are actually keeping track of who owns equities. They're considered the company that is actually the issuer behind stocks. They are launching their pilot product on Canton in October. They are going to launch equities on Canton, and these are like really equities. Like, they're not wrappers. Like Xstocks did something great. It was a first mover, but you're not really buying the stock when you buy Xstocks, when you buy Ondo. You're buying a shell company in the BVI or in Cayman Island that is holding the stocks, and you're buying a wrapped version of them, right? But when the DTCC starts to bring stocks on chain, you're buying the real deal. Like, legally, you're buying stocks, right? So we've kind of like found we found a home on Canton. because we believe that that's where the future is going into, right? Real, legally claimable ownership of stocks, right? And we are building essentially the most profitable use case that you can build, the most actively used product in crypto, and also a crypto only kind of invention is perpetual futures, right? Perpetual futures have not existed before. BitMEX, Arthur Hayes, they started this whole product category, and now players like Hyperliquid, Lighter, Aster, and others, you can't ignore them. They are the ones that run crypto. Even if you look on centralized exchanges, Binance, Bybit, 90% of all the volume in crypto, it's all perpetual futures because people like to trade leverage. It's very cost effective, and we are taking this and we're giving it an institutional grade flavor. That's what Canton is delivering to us, because Canton is a chain that is fully private. Like, you can't see any transactions, so there is no front running, there is no transaction sandwiching, there is no hunting down someone that has a large trade, there is no conspiracy theory when someone opens a big trade, and institutions are legally prohibited from having their entries, liquidation prices, and so on be public, because then you get this craziness where big market makers and hedge funds start to trade against you to liquidate you, right? So we're bringing what BitMEX brought to the space and what Hyperliquid brought fully on chain. We're building this for institutions. So institutions are able to trade equities, crypto, commodities with leverage 24/7, 365. And that's where we see the future is heading.
All right, thank you, everybody. That was the show. We're gonna wrap it up here. Yeah, that was perfect. No, but I love the passion. I love the energy. You can definitely talk for hours. And I've seen you been around in a few podcasts and in Tokyo as well at conferences. Like you love sharing of what you're building, and we love that from founders and teams.
Of course, you have to come on. If you
to,
don't like to talk about that, then what do you like to talk about?
Yeah, exactly. What are you even doing?
That's
what
your
are you
baby.
building?
That's your mission, right? So
100%. Yeah, no, I was very curious how you guys got into Canton. I personally hadn't heard about it before. I've heard of other privacy blockchains, or like in general privacy just growing in the ecosystem, and with everyone just giving so much access to AI, like people want to also have privacy, but like you cannot have both. You need to sacrifice one for the other in a way. Yeah, but it does make so much sense. And I also, after researching more on Canton, like they're building and prioritizing on institutions, not that much the user or the customer itself. It's correct. It's just at scale, which you guys as well are focusing on, right?
Yes. So Canton, if you are in the RWA bubble, in the RWA space, especially when it comes to equities, tokenized equities, like you can't miss Canton, right? Canton is a very, very unique, like you could even argue, or there is the question, is Canton even a blockchain? It's more like a ledger. So Canton works to follow, or the history of Canton is the following. There was a company called Digital Asset. They were founded in 2016 with the mission of bringing blockchain use cases to institutions, right? Being able to bring blockchain settlement to institutional workflows. So Digital Asset's been around for 10 plus years. They have created this programming language called Digital Asset Modeling Language. They also kind of like termed or created this term digital asset, right? We used to call this crypto, then blockchain, and then there was like DLT, distributed ledger technology, and now it's like digital assets, right? Whatever institutions feel comfortable with. So for 10 plus years, they have been doing hands-on use cases with a lot of big clients, like Deutsche Börse is one, which is the Nasdaq of Germany, for example, the biggest economy in Europe, and others. And a couple of years ago, they partnered up with DRW and Cumberland, who are both two big hedge funds in the traditional market, and created a Canton network. So Canton network works like this. You have a bunch of validators, and every app is running on its own validator, but you have the global synchronizer in the middle that is kind of like syncing everything together and allowing for composability. So I can issue a tokenized gold token, for example, on my ledger, but then someone else has a lending market on another ledger or an exchange on another ledger, and you're able to send these assets around. But Canton was specifically designed for institutional grade workflows, because this is something that Ethereum and Solana have not yet been able to achieve, being able to be a home for both the retail and the institutions. And that's what Canton is. Because the problem was never the retail. Like, retail doesn't care where they trade as long as they can make money somewhere.
Yeah, literally.
They don't give a shit where they are, right? They can be on Solana, even though it's
They'll jump tomorrow and the next day to
they'll
another one.
jump.
Like, yeah, they'll follow
Yeah,
the
like
money.
even if the network is down every other day. I mean, now it's okay. They improved their tech quite a bit, Solana. But in the beginning, imagine like the chain was just down. Then they jumped to Robinhood, Base, Arbitrum. But institutions, they have a very distinct feature set that they require so that they can legally compliance on a compliance side bring money on chain, right? And for the first time now in history, we're seeing retail interest in crypto decline and be at this all-time low. I'm sure you, having a show,
Yep.
can really feel how much people don't care about crypto anymore.
Yeah,
But
it's
at the same
crazy, man.
time, yeah, it's
But
insane.
NFTs are up, but so who cares? We're back on trading meme coins and NFTs, so that's more important. One ETH equal one ETH, in a way.
Yeah. So, and at the same time, you see institutional interest at an all-time high, right?
Yep.
Because now institutions are looking into at crypto or digital asset or blockchain, whatever. They're looking at it, and they don't see a bunch of money launderers and terrorists and drug dealers trying to use this
Yeah.
tech to hide their money. They realize, hey, wait, we can use this technology to improve our workflows, be faster, be cheaper, be more accessible, be composable, right? And that's what's happening right now. And we are building infrastructure to support this, to accelerate this inflow of institutional capital on chain, and being able to marry the two worlds, which are retail and institutions.
Incredible. Yeah, no, I wanted. I mean, it was so interesting to talk about Canton, and there's still some questions that I want to ask about that.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense that how you align and how you sing together. It almost feels like you are part of the Canton team, of how much you talk about it
Yeah,
on
I
your
should take
socials and on shows.
ambassador salary.
Literally, yeah, you're like the number one advocate, which is great, obviously, for them and for you guys. And you're featured app. You're part of the ecosystem. You're growing together, which it's a win-win,
Of
obviously.
course. Definitely,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, and I just wanted curious as well on the EDL side on the market layer on how the system and the infrastructure that you build in. You mentioned the architecture as well a couple of times. In simple terms for users or for people to understand a little bit better, how does it work? On
Yeah.
the access side, on the liquidity side, on
Yeah. So the main product that we're focusing on right now, we call it Edel Markets. Edel Markets is the perpetual futures exchange that we're bringing to Canton. Think hyperliquid, but on a chain that is fully private and that is institutional grade. So hyperliquid is a great app. Like, I love it. I'm trading on it as well myself every now and then when I feel like I want to lose some money. I connect to hyperliquid and start to play. But they have one big flaw, one big flaw, and that's every time someone opens a trade, it's fully public. You can
yeah.
see the trading history, you can see who has what kind of orders open, which gives a lot of transparency. Yeah, cool, sounds great, but introduces a lot of risks, especially for big traders, and those are the ones that you want to attract for deep liquidity. One example, or I have two examples. One is James Wynn, for example. We A lot of
Yep.
people might know what happened. For those who don't, guy traded his portfolio from nothing to like $100 million, and he opened a giga long on Bitcoin. I think he had like a $1.2 billion position size, 10x leverage with $100 million, and then suddenly market makers started to, or the market started
To try to liquidate him.
react or
Yeah.
behave kind of weird, right? And it was kind of obvious that people were trying to liquidate this guy, right?
Yeah.
Because when you liquidate someone has to force sell, means that the price will drop even further, and then people can buy in later or open shorts against him, whatever. Many different reasons for why you want to do that. The other person is Big Brother Maki, right?
Yeah, no,
Maki
man.
Big Brother.
Oof.
That guy has publicly been losing money for the
Left and
past
right for the last five
many
years,
years.
six.
Yeah, he's been liquidated. He lost over $75 million so far. And one person that we speak to a lot, he used to be a top 25 trader on Hyperliquid. He had this experience as well, where his liquidation price were obviously manipulated, or the price were manipulated to hit liquidation prices,
Yeah.
to be able to capture his liquidation, his margin call. So if you think about big institutions, hedge funds, those guys would love to trade something like perps, where they can trade 24/7, 365 when Trump decides to bomb Iran on a Saturday and oil prices do backflips, right? Like you can't wait until 9 a.m. New York time until the
Yeah.
market opens. Like people want to get access to these markets over the weekend, right? But they need a venue that complies with their needs. So that's what we're building. So imagine, it's no different. What we're building is no different than what Aster, Hyperliquid, and Lighter have done. We're just building it on a stack that allows for institutions to feel comfortable coming on board, right? Besides that, Canton has a few unique features because it doesn't really behave like a normal chain, or how you know a chain behaves. So instead of having all these external wallets like a MetaMask, like a Phantom, you have something called party IDs. You still have wallets that wrap around it for user experience, but they have built-in account abstraction. So Edel Markets, and it's going live fairly soon into the beta phase, where you are able to try to test it out. There's going to be leaderboards, rewards for traders, for profitable traders, but you will feel that Edel Markets feels more like a centralized exchange than a decentralized one, while still being fully decentralized, and like you're doing self custody, right? And this brings up a very interesting thing, when right now you have Mika coming into play, and players like Binance, like smaller exchanges like Mexi, Femex, Weeks, Blowfin, all these players, Bitunix, that have a lot of traders. Like even though they're not so big, they have thousands and thousands and thousands of traders. They're being kicked out of the continent because they don't comply with the regulation. So this opens a massive void, big hole in the market, where imagine if there is a decentralized exchange where users don't have to compromise user experience at all. It feels exactly like a centralized exchange, where you can choose your different assets. You click deposit, you get your little QR code, or you see the address, and you can send Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, whatever you want on it, and you're able to open trades. That's the power of Canton. So initially, the goal is to be able to bring massive amounts of retail traders on it, because of the user experience that we're able to offer, that no other perp venue is able to offer. I mean, look at Hyperliquid, again, great platform. But when you want to put money on the platform to open trade, you need to have money on Arbitrum. You need to bridge it. Oh, you
Yeah.
bridge on Arbitrum, then you don't have ETH to pay gas, and you need to bridge again.
So painful.
Who understands that? Like we do, like we are in our little crypto bubble, we get that. But someone who is reading the news and is like, wait, Moderna, or I'm not sure who it actually was, I think Moderna, they just invented the cure for cancer, I want to go long, right? Which they actually did yesterday, right? I want to go long. and they can't do it, right? It's not possible. So we are able to offer this seamless experience where you can trade everything from equities, commodities to crypto, while preserving user experience, giving people what they are used to, what they already know. At the same time, we're able to circumvent, avoid, however you want to call it, the regulation, because it's a decentralized network. We're not custodying any money of users. It works the same way like Hyperliquid, Lighter, and Ester, right? So this is going to be super interesting. However, the end goal is to be able to service institutional traders. Initially, it's not going to be BlackRock from day one. It's going to be
Yeah.
smaller hedge funds, prop firms, market makers who are looking to do their trades in a more private manner. But the end goal is really to become this sort of like prime brokerage firm where the big players can connect to and trade this vehicle that proved in our little crypto bubble is the preferred way of how people do trades.
Incredible. Yeah, it seems like it's fixing problems and improving the experience and faster, more private in multiple ways, and not only for institutions. At least that was what I was researching prior to the stream. But now that they're targeting also influencers, individuals, with the user experience and the just the privacy as well, that helps a lot. And everyone's trying to reduce risk, even if they have $10 or 10 million. Obviously, changes, but the public the blockchain being public at the beginning, like a few years ago, was really cool. Like we could see that, and but it's I think everyone's pivoting to more privacy, and you mentioned the manipulating, the market makers trying to
Yeah.
liquidate people, like that's huge.
And privacy has been a big narrative throughout 2026. I mean,
Hmm.
if
Yep.
you've been trading, like Zcash was going crazy, everyone was talking about it. Canton has a different kind of privacy you need to understand. So Zcash, for example, is like Bitcoin but private. Okay, cool. It's like money. It's like cash, right? Zcash. So you can send money to your buddy. It's like Monero. You send money to your friend and no one can track it. Cool.
Mhm.
Then you have zero knowledge proof, which can also be private in certain ways.
Yep.
Where no one is really able to understand anything, but you can build apps on it because it's a programmable network. Now, Canton is different, where you have selective privacy. So you're able to say, okay, this part is private, this part is not. So you can comply with regulators, you can prove to the regulator, hey, we're doing stuff that is legal, that is compliant, but at the same time not giving anyone in the world access to seeing everything. So that's the difference here, between privacy in Canton and privacy on other networks. And to this user experience part, actually, like, to be very honest with you, we only realized how great the UX can be with an app that you're building on Canton midway of building it, right? Like, we were building this for, like, okay, privacy first, institutional grade perps, and then while building it, we were like, wait a second, like, we can do something quite interesting here, where we're able to offer an experience to normal retail traders, which feels like a centralized exchange while still being decentralized and fully self custody. This changed the trajectory of our go-to-market strategy, and it makes everything so much easier, because institutions are not first movers. They're not like, oh yeah, cool,
Yeah.
this is a new technology, let me be the first one to try it out. They're not. They don't work. It doesn't work like that. We're in touch with a bunch of institutions, and the sales cycles there can be 2 years, right? Like 2 years of meetings and coffees until you do any business, right? And then in the
Yep.
meantime, during those 2 years, the leadership changes and you have to
Yeah.
start over again,
They get
right? Like,
acquired. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So us being able to start with what we're used to and what we are good at, building apps, building great apps for ordinary people to use, right? Um, Us being able to do that in a way that we have never been able to do it before, really played into our cards. So we're super excited to be able to launch the beta in the next coming weeks, where people will be able to trade with minimal amount of margin. So it's kind of like a test net, but with real money. You're going to be able to use $10 of margin. You can open trades, do leverage on various different assets. For us, it's important to be able to test the infrastructure, test the product, and make sure it can really scale. Because the problem with Canton, not just the transactions are private, but everything is private. Like on Ethereum or Solana, you can just look at the code. That's why every other
Yep.
day there is a big hack on any other chain right now because of AI. You're just giving it to Fable 5 and say, hack this, right? Like
Copy
find
it.
find
Yeah.
yeah,
Find
like
the loophole.
find the loophole, find where's the back door, right? And on Canton, the code base is fully private. So this is
That's
great
huge.
on that. This is great on that side. That's why there was never a hack on Canton so far in 1 year of being operational. Not even a single one. On the other side, it makes building quite hard because on Robinhood chain, for example, some dude was like, you need a DEX. Let me copy Uniswap and just launch that. They need a lending market. Let me copy Aave and launch it. We need a launch pad. Let me copy the code of Pump Fun and just deploy on another chain, right? So it
Yeah.
makes building a lot harder. And you can't just look over your shoulder like you did in high school and copy what your friend did next to you, right? Copy the answers. You have to come up with your own approach to everything. So and no one has ever built the perp dex on Canton. We are the first ones to actually go live with something. So it's going to be super interesting. We need this public beta where we get people to just break the system. We're going to have interesting rewards in dollars, weekly leaderboards, trading competitions. We can launch Edel Markets as a perpetual futures DEX, but do the same marketing activities that a centralized exchange is doing. If you've been watching other creators, they in the beginning of the video they always say, "Hey, use my Bybit link, you get $10,000 of margin. Use this link here, link in
Yep.
my description, trade on with my link." Um, we are able to do similar things, give bonuses, do trading competitions that on a centralized exchange is the most normal thing ever. But you don't see dexes do that, right? I'm super excited for that. So the next coming weeks will be intense.
Yeah, no, the power people have now, if they know how to use AI, is almost unlimited. To have that privacy that people cannot copy Canton, and that you guys are first on the perp tech side is massive. It's a huge opportunity, and I mean it all leads to Canton then, and to you guys obviously Edel and Canton now and in the future, covering all of these important aspects on speed and privacy and experience. Like it's crazy. When are we looking at? I saw you had a 100K TPS, and you said one tweet like 250K TPS very soon. You have beta coming up. Like what are the timelines? I think I saw Q3 somewhere in the tweet. I mean Q3 is finishing next month.
Next month.
So how are the milestones, the key milestones that you're excited about? What's next? What are people should be excited about? Obviously, bolts and markets coming soon.
Yeah,
All of that.
yeah, yeah. So essentially, right now, our 100% of our focus is on markets. Get
Yep.
this app live, get it up and running. Where we are currently is an internal testing phase. So as you saw on our Twitter, we just recently achieved the mark of 100,000 transactions per second, which is great. It's not phenomenal. There are others that are doing a lot more. We with the optimizations that we see that we are still able to do, we believe that we're able to ramp this up to around 500,000 transactions per second, which is going to be about double the amount of transactions we can put through the venue than what Hyperliquid is offering, right? So the next phase is to deploy Edel Markets on mainnet, right, on Canton mainnet. And still remain in this closed alpha phase where us market makers and some other traders are able to integrate and test more thoroughly. And then in the next coming weeks, I would say during like in September, that's the time, that's the goal. We want to go into public beta. So public beta means that you're able to trade with real money. Users can sign up, users can participate in trading competitions and perform these trades, earn money. We can do thousands of dollars of rewards every other week because of the Canton Rewards program that is going on. Canton is running the builder incentive campaign where they are paying apps for activity on the network, which is really really helpful. And we're officially going to be the first perp dex which is bootstrapped not by points and an airdrop, but actually through real cash and real incentives. Right? That's why I said in the beginning or before that we can do marketing the same way that a centralized exchange is doing it, right? So we're going to remain in the public beta until we reach the goal of 500,000 transactions per second that we can achieve, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to open up access to, or not open up access, but open up the possibility for people to do bigger trades, right? We're not going to cap the margin, so you can do your $10,000 trade or your $100 million trade if you want to. Uh, you
Quick
know,
Wacky, James win.
exactly. and
Oh
in
man.
yeah, these guys should come over
Yeah.
100%. Like
We need
we
you.
will make their life,
Test it
we
out.
will make their life so much easier.
So
Um,
much. Yeah,
so
actually, I mean, it could be inevitable. I mean, once they find out about it, like it's a no brainer for them if they still have money. But yeah, like no one will be manipulated to liquidate them, right? Like every other day.
yeah,
So that'll be
that's the
huge.
problem. We were looking into how can we, like, with who do we want as a brand ambassador for when the product is like fully live.
Yeah,
We were looking, like, I only knew James Wynn based on this liquidation event that happened. I think all over a year ago. This was already.
yeah,
But yeah, this guy lost so much money. He's been doing a few questionable deals, I would say, promoting stuff he maybe shouldn't have promoted.
yeah.
So I don't know if that's gonna happen, but yeah, the goal or the time that we see is public beta before Q3, so during next month. That's the goal, and then the full launch of the full perps we're targeting for Q4. And it's also kind of market dependent, honestly. Like we're happy to be in this public betas like phase until the market really switches, right? We know we can provide quite interesting incentives and do interesting trading competitions to keep the community happy and give them ways to make money in this pretty bad market. And then once the market kind of like seems to turn into a different direction, we can fully attack by opening up and going full mainnet mode, and let people trade whatever they want with high leverage, and fully private.
Yeah, the market is definitely odd right now and pretty flat on the crypto side, but equities, commodities, NFTs. I mean, there's always something to do. So, I mean, and you guys launching your markets is going to be, I mean, huge opportunity for everyone to get involved in the way that they feel more comfortable or that they maybe know a little bit more on stocks, all of these options that they can get on. So that's gonna be
Exactly.
fun for sure. For anyone, like for people listening today, like that they want to get involved today or starting to learn more about, obviously listening to the stream is one of them, following you guys is another one. Like, what's the best or the fastest way to get involved with you guys and to be ready
I mean,
for beta?
I would say like following along on Twitter is definitely one thing. We're posting all our updates and announcements over there. If you want to get more involved with the community, then I can recommend the Telegram group.
Nice.
So right now, we are gearing up for this public beta launch. You will want to be able to get access first. Like, Canton works very on the onboarding user side. It's kind of weird because you're limited, or we are limited to only 2,500 users that we can onboard. Like, that's with every single app on Canton has a limit of 2.5K users every week that you can onboard.
That's
So if
wild.
Yeah, it's super weird. Like everything that you know about blockchain, you kind of need to forget when looking
Yeah,
at
literally, it's a
Phantom.
whole new world.
Yeah, really. Yeah, it is. It is. That's why people ask if it even is a blockchain, really.
Yeah.
And yeah. So if you really want to take advantage of these, if you're a good trader, or if you think you're a good trader, then you should
Mhm.
definitely join the Telegram group, to make sure that you get access to the app, very very quickly. um, and yeah, this is mainly that, the Twitter and the Telegram, and yeah, this is that's it. These are the two main
There's
things.
I just remember there's a wait list. I mean, there's like 20 links that I have ready for this, but like there was one with a wait list. No, like people can uh, share their email,
Yeah,
and was that a newsletter?
currently the wait list is
I
off.
think this one.
We got too many requests.
That's such a good problem to have.
Yeah, we got so many requests on it. We had to take it down. Also, like,
Jeez.
yeah, we got too many requests. But the main thing is joining
Telegram
Telegram,
and
and
Twitter.
joining Twitter, or following along on Twitter.
Yep.
We will be unveiling a lot more content soon around the token. So how does the Edel token tie into the perps, right? There is we recently announced there's going to be a token staking mechanism, and if you
Hmm.
think about it, like, the most profitable, the most valuable business cases on in crypto, it is perps, it is trading, right?
Yep.
So we won't reinvent the wheel, but we're able to tie in a lot of interesting use cases to the token, right? And if our thesis of Canton being this institutional chain and becoming successful, and us being successful in being able to onboard institutions in the future, that means you want to get exposure to that, right? These yeah, if you want to learn more about this kind of stuff, then on Twitter is the place to be. You're going to find more info on that there.
Yeah, when you mentioned the 2,500 users per week limit, I'm like, that I'm sure they're getting so much demand, because I mean, when you tell people what they can do, they obviously want it more. So, and
Yeah,
goes to show as well with the amount of user demand that you guys are getting. So, very happy for you guys on the good problem side of things. And then the figuring out what to do with them, but at least you have them, which a lot of companies and projects struggle with. Obviously, getting that user acquisition and that first
yeah, of course.
boost at the beginning, the first growth, is part of
Yeah.
the important process. But yeah, also, I mean, I saw you were in Tokyo. Are you guys planning on doing any IRL events? I mean, Token Singapore is coming up next month, I believe, September, October.
Yeah,
Could
October, I think.
you could people find you guys doing a conference or an event anytime soon as well, or not?
Yeah, for sure. So we are going to be in Korea for
Nice.
KBW. That's
Okay,
the
nice.
first.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the
KB.
first. Are you going to that one as well?
I was there like 2 years ago. Super fun, man. It's even more fun than Token Singapore. It's very. I
Yeah,
mean, everyone's super DJing, but like gaming also like plays a huge part of it. And in Korea, it's special, man. It's incredible. Singapore's as well,
yeah.
but it's very different.
I was there also 2 years ago. Maybe we crossed paths
Shit, maybe
somewhere
yeah.
at a side event. But yeah,
That
Korea will be there.
was fun.
Uh, then Token as well,
Yeah.
and we're currently in the process of thinking slash planning, to do a smaller event there. It depends on how in at what stage we will be there with the public beta, right? Like,
Mhm.
we might do an event for traders, but it's probably more going to be private stuff that we're doing with institutions, right? That's our main
Right.
goal. Like, having starting to have these conversations now. We will be in Rome for AIBC. That's going to be cool as well. That's in November. And then I might be in New York in September for a Canton specific event. But yeah, like, you will find us at KBW for sure, and Token as well.
Super fun. when you said about the trading event, I mean, imagine you do a live trading, like maybe not a stadium like the League of Legends ones, but like you do like live trading in a competition, and everyone's like cheering for the people, or like
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen darts on the UK. That gets really wild, man. There's
Man,
so
this
much that you can
exists.
create.
Like this. This is. We would
I've
not
seen
be
it
the
in
first
Asia,
one to
yeah.
do it. Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
like
They do
people
this
live
as
trade
like
and they're like all
as an
cheering, like let's fucking go.
man. They do it as an
So fun.
esports. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
crazy.
growing.
Like
It's growing.
yeah, like imagine doing trading as an esport. That's crazy. But yeah,
Yeah,
they do that. Yeah, they do
you
that.
should definitely consider it, even if it's in the private event and obviously private in Canton. Maybe even like take their phones at the entrance and they just like you just had to be there. Like show me the videos. Like who won? Like you just had to be there. You play with people's minds. Oh
That's
man,
funny.
that could be fun. That could be fun.
But token, you'll be there.
I don't know, man. I've been the last 3 years in a row, and it's such
Yeah,
a long travel for me from Mexico.
yeah.
So it's not that easy. I mean, also for you, but
How
yeah, it
long is it
takes
for you?
30 hours.
30 hours.
Yeah, man, it's a
Wow.
while. The fastest I can
Wow.
get there is like 25 hours, and that's like two flights. I can fly directly from here to Japan or Korea, and
Yeah.
then from there to Singapore. But it's
Wow.
still exhausting, and all obviously the jet lag and all that, and
For
not
me,
cheap.
it's only I think
Like
16
12.
hours.
Yeah, you fly to Turkey or Dubai or something, and then you
No,
fly.
we can. Yeah, there is even direct flights.
No way.
Yeah, 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 there's
That's
direct flights
awesome.
from Zurich to Singapore. Yeah, yeah,
Oh man, yeah, you have it perfect. Yeah, I fly from here to Korea or Japan, and that's 15 hours by itself. So
I
it's
didn't
it's
realize, but yeah, I
madness.
mean, the Pacific is not a small ocean to cross.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe. I mean, I don't have anything booked, but the last year as well, like I booked it like 2 3 weeks before. So who knows? If I am there, I'm definitely messaging you and I'll go to the events with you guys.
Yeah, it's
That'll
so
be fun.
interesting. For people in crypto, I don't know why, but token in Singapore has such a pull. Even people who are always saying, "No, I've been so many times, I'm not going anymore." They end up
You just
going
end up there
anyway.
again.
Yeah, you just spawn there, like, oh, okay, I'm
Here we
here
go.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and casually is the same weekend as Formula One. So like, oh, I guess we do it again.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
I was planning to go to Dubai last week to Token Dubai last year, but that didn't happen, and I ended up in Singapore again. So
Yeah,
just part of it.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
Man, I can't believe we're running out of time now. It's always the hour, or almost the hour. Anything? I have two more questions. First one is
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
anything you think that we missed that is important for people to know, that you feel like it's something super important and you haven't mentioned it yet before we start closing, and one more question after that.
No, I think we went over everything. Like we've started off already going quite into the weeds of everything.
Yeah.
So I think we covered everything. We spoke about Canton, we spoke about Edel Markets, we spoke about the token staking that's coming soon. So I think everything covered from my end. I'm curious about your last question.
The last question is more general. It's always one that I really like to close with. Is what's your best advice for builders with ambitious goals and big ideas? You know, like I mean, you build this
Yeah,
incredible project and you have
yeah.
this incredible journey. So if you can help inspire with your words or your advice, that helps a lot of people in the audience.
Yeah, very simple. I would say just do it. Just start. Just go for it. And there are moments when it feels like you're going through hell, right? There are these moments come, right? You have to be dynamic, and you just have to never stop walking. Like when you're in hell, you just keep walking, right? You just take one step after the next, and it's all about consistency, right? Like you can hit the gym every day for 6 months, or you can hit the gym like a little bit, but you go 1 year. The person who goes for 1 year, right, didn't do supersets and went crazy and ate proteins every day, but the person who showed up every single day, didn't take breaks, never quit. They are the ones that will look better at the end of the year, right? And the same thing goes for this kind of stuff. There's going to be a lot of moments when you just want to throw it all away and just give up, right? And just go back to something else. But you just never stop walking. So I think that's the biggest advice that I could give. Now in this age with AI, you don't need to raise millions of dollars to build a software company. You use your friend Claude and you just go for it, right? There is less and less excuses that you can do, that you can have for not starting your business and pursue your dream. There is also, of course, more competition, but the rule has always been that most people give up, and you just never want to be that person.
No, completely agree. I think that consistency is overlooked, and most people are just not following through. I mean, through the hard times mainly, because when it's good, it's very easy. And also, like, everyone has the tools now and no excuses to continue doing so and finding new ways, new creative ways of outside of the box ideas, and just instead of just copying others. Canton is a great example that you need to be unique and private, and just follow your gut as well in what you really believe. I think you're a perfect example of how how passionate a person can be when you're on the right track, right? And what you really want to build and offer something to the world it's uncanny, like it's unmatchable. You can go and talk for days and for hours, so it's amazing, man. Thanks again for being on the show. This has been incredible.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, thank you. It's been amazing. I'm sure the audience got a lot of alpha. We're gonna get some clips very soon as well for people to process
Cool.
that as well. Super excited for you guys, for the beta, for the public, for everything that you have ahead. I'm sure we'll be seeing Edel and Canton a lot more in the coming days and months. So thanks again. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.
Ciao, ciao.